As South Africans, we're all about protecting what we've worked so hard for, our homes, families, and futures. But there's a new kind of threat on the rise. Not a physical threat, but one that could wipe out your life savings in the blink of an eye. It's not a crime you can see, hear, or even feel until it's way too late. With the rapid growth of AI, scams are becoming more intelligent and more dangerous. Today, I will uncover the most significant financial risk you're facing and show you how to safeguard your hard-earned money from these invisible predators. Hello everyone, welcome to the Family Wealth channel. Thank you for joining me. My name is Hardy Swart. I'm a certified financial planning professional and the director at Family Wealth Custodians. As financial advisors, my firm and I are entrusted with the immense responsibility of protecting our clients' wealth and assets, representing their futures, families, and lifelong dreams. Many of our clients are at the stage in their lives where starting over simply isn't an option. They've worked hard to build their financial security, and the trust they place in us is something we take very seriously. However, dark clouds are on the horizon, signaling something dangerous, a storm that most of us are not prepared for. While we, as financial advisors and wealth managers, can navigate and manage many financial risks, this threat lies far beyond our control. Our responsibility is to ensure our clients have the knowledge they need to shield themselves from what is about to come. To illustrate just how real this threat is, let me use a real-life example of Tom and Jenny, pseudonyms of course. Tom dedicated his entire life to serving as a preacher, and together with his wife Jenny, who spent her years as a school teacher, they built a life of dedication and hard work. Since they had lived on the church's property all of their adult lives, this was their first ever property purchase, and they were excited to create a space where their children and grandchildren could come and visit. But, as many of you know, buying a home in South Africa is a challenging task. The process is like running a marathon uphill. You save for years, navigate estate agents eager to close deals, and wrestle with legal jargon that leaves you wondering if you've missed something crucial. Yet after a long, nerve-wracking search, Tom and Jenny finally found their perfect home. Their offer was accepted and the valuation and inspections went smoothly. Everything was in place. All that was left was to pay the 50% deposit, 2.6 million rand, half of their life savings. They received an email from their attorney with the bank details for the transfer, and after a quick phone call to confirm, Tom made the transfer. The relief they felt was immense. After all the stress and effort, they had finally secured their dream retirement home. They could see themselves settling into their new life, surrounded by loved ones. But then, a week later, Tom received a call from his attorney, asking when he planned to transfer the funds. Confused and slightly annoyed, Tom replied that he had already transferred the funds. The attorney, equally confused, insisted that they haven't received any money. Panic set in and Tom felt as if he could not breathe. Tom rushed to his computer to check the email with the bank details. Everything seemed in order, no strange characters, nothing out of place. He read the bank details back to the attorney, who then delivered this crushing news. Those were not the correct bank details. Attorney's office, and even included a phone call to confirm the information, but as he checked his call history, a chilling realization hit him. The number they called him from wasn't the same number he was speaking to. They hadn't sent the email, they hadn't made the call, and Tom and Jenny's money was not in their bank account. At first, Tom couldn't believe it. Surely it was a mistake that could easily be fixed. He immediately contacted the bank, called the police, and contacted anyone who he thought maybe could help. But reality soon set in. 2.6 million rand was gone, vanished into the scammer's account, never to be seen again. The impact on Tom and Jenny was devastating. They had lost almost half their life savings, money they had worked decades to save. Tom was consumed by anger. Anger at the scammers, anger at himself for being deceived, and at the system that seemed powerless to recover his money. This anger quickly turned into guilt. He felt he had failed Jenny, failed his responsibility to protect their future. The stress and anxiety began to take a toll on him, and he suffered from sleepless nights, plagued by nightmares that wouldn't stop replaying these events. Their dream of a peaceful retirement was shattered. Instead of moving into their new home, they were forced to move in with their oldest son, a constant reminder of what they had lost. I'm sure many of you know someone who has experienced something similar. It might not have been the exact same scam, but the pain and devastation of financial fraud are all too common. These scams prey on our trust, leaving their victims with overwhelming guilt and shame, often silencing them. But staying silent only helps those predators thrive. We need to talk about these dangers, share our experiences, and arm ourselves with knowledge so that fewer people fall into these traps. So now the question is, how did this happen to Tom? After looking into it, Tom discovered that his email had been hacked. It turns out that his password had been stolen, most likely through a phishing scam. This could have happened when he clicked on a link in an email or text message that took him to a fake website where he unknowingly entered his login details. Another possible reason is that Tom used the same password on multiple sites, one of which had a security breach. Once the scammers had access to his email, they patiently waited for the right moment to strike. When they saw emails about the property purchase, they knew it was their golden ticket for a huge payday. As soon as Tom received the email from his attorney with the payment details, the scammers jumped into action. They intercepted the email, deleted the original one, and sent Tom a fake one that looked exactly like the one that came from his attorney, but with other bank details. These scammers were clever. They didn't just rely on a slightly different email address to trick him. They went all out, making sure the fake email looked completely legit. To cover their tracks even more, the scammers called Tom, pretending to be the attorney's assistant, to confirm their fake bank details. Even though email security has improved over the years, with many companies putting safeguards in place to stop this kind of fraud, not every business is as careful. Unfortunately, Tom's attorneys weren't fully aware of this risk, which contributed to the devastating loss he and Jenny suffered. I want to explain how artificial intelligence makes these
practicing attorney in Philadelphia, and I was the intended victim of a scam using my son's voice. And here's the story. I was on my way to work. My phone rang. It was my son. He was crying. He said, "Dad, I was in an accident. I hit another car being driven by a pregnant woman. My nose is broken. They arrested me. I'm in jail. They assigned a public defender to me. His name is Barry Goldstein. You need to call him. You have to get me out of here. Help me." I said, "Brett, I'll call him and I'll call you right back." He said, "You can't. They took my phone. Help me, Dad." I'm a father. I'm a lawyer. My son's in trouble. A pregnant woman was hurt. He's in jail. I'm in action mode. Before I could do anything, my phone rings again. It's Barry Goldstein. "I just met with your son. He's hurt. He has a broken nose, but he'll be okay. He hit a car being driven by a pregnant woman. She was taken to the hospital. They arrested your son because he failed the breathalyzer test at the accident scene." I said, "Wait, my son would never drink and drive." He said, "Brett told him that, but he had an energy drink that morning, and that may have caused the failed test." He said I should take some steps if I wanted to bail my son out. I said, "Of course I want to do that." He said, "Well, I'll give you the phone number for the courthouse, and here's your son's case number. You should call the courthouse and bail him out." I immediately called the courthouse. They answer correctly. I tell them why I'm calling. They said, "What's your son's name?" They asked for the case number. They said, "Yes, your son's here. Bail was set at $90,000. You need to post 10%, $9,000 to bail him out, but there's a problem." So what's the problem? The county bail bondsman was away on a family emergency, and he's not available. He said, but there is a solution. You can post what they called an attorney's bond. I said, I'm an attorney. He said, yes, but you haven't entered your appearance on behalf of your son. There's a Mr. Goldstein that did that. You should perhaps call him back and try to get him to post an attorney's bond. Hang up, I call Mr. Goldstein back. Mr. Goldstein, can you post the bond for my $1,000? He said, I'm a member of a credit union, so you need to take the cash to a certain kiosk, which will get the money to me. And I'm scheduled to leave for a conference in California. I'll be leaving to the airport in 2 hours, so you need to move quickly. I learned later that that kiosk was a Bitcoin kiosk that would convert the money to cryptocurrency. I hang up. All of these calls happened in 2 minutes. This is the first time I had a chance to think. I called my daughter-in-law and suggested that she call work and tell them that my son wasn't going to make it today because he was in an accident. A few minutes later, FaceTime call from my son. He's pointing to his nose. He goes, my nose is fine. I'm fine. You're being scammed.
As our world becomes more digitally connected, the threat posed by scammers has never been more pressing. With advancements in technology, it's only a matter of time before someone in your family, whether it's your parents, grandparents, or even your children, receives a call or video message that seems completely authentic and trustworthy. These criminals often accumulate detailed personal information over time, enabling them to weave false stories that are so convincing that they're almost impossible to see through. They know how to tap into our emotions, exploit our fears, and create a sense of urgency, making us more likely to fall prey to their traps. Over the past year, South Africa has seen a sharp rise in fraudulent activity, with scammers increasingly targeting victims through social media. People often share personal information online without realizing how it can be exploited. Scammers use this data to build detailed profiles of their targets, which helps them tailor their approach and gives them access to facial and audio data. This information can be used in more sophisticated scams, such as creating fake videos or voice recordings that convincingly impersonate their victims. According to the South African Fraud Prevention Service, fraud incidents surged by 32% in 2024, with banking fraud alone accounting for 45% of these cases. The microfinance and retail sectors were also hit hard, while impersonation fraud increased by a staggering 54%. Major banks have also flagged the growing threat of phishing and deepfake scams, in which criminals use your voice or your face to create a realistic fake message or video. These can be used to promote fake investment opportunities or other scams, preying on people's trust in their social networks. The reason I decided to make this video was because of a recent incident involving one of our dear clients. Their email was hacked and the attackers attempted to change their banking details. Thankfully, we had a robust three-step verification process in place, which allowed us to catch the scam before any damage was done. This close call highlighted just how real and immediate these threats are, and I felt it was crucial to share this information to help others protect themselves. I launched the Family Wealth YouTube channel to educate people about personal finance and give them tools and confidence they need to control their own financial futures. My goal is to positively impact a million lives through different platforms, including this YouTube channel, TV, radio, and my upcoming book. My passion for this work is deeply personal. My family suffered greatly due to poor financial advice. My grandmothers and my mother lost their entire life savings after being persuaded to invest into a shady property syndication. Today, my mother, who was once a fiercely independent woman, is financially dependent on myself and my brother. This experience fueled my commitment to helping others, particularly the vulnerable, such as the elderly and widows, to avoid similar financial pitfalls. Unfortunately, there are hundreds of thousands of unscrupulous scamsters out there, preying on all of us, but especially the vulnerable. Partnering with a reputable, regulated financial advisor in South Africa is essential. Our firm is regulated by the FSCA, and I'm a proud member of the Financial Planning Institute of Southern Africa, and we adhere to their strict code of ethics and professional conduct. Our full-time internal compliance officer thoroughly vets every piece of content I produce, and we also work with an external compliance company to ensure the highest standards of content. This commitment to integrity and security is why people trust our firm, but this trust comes with a great responsibility. It's also why I'm raising awareness about this growing threat of online financial scams, to equip you with the knowledge you need to protect yourself in an increasingly risky digital landscape. How can you protect yourself? First, when engaging with financial content online, be cautious in the comment sections. Many financial YouTubers have noticed that bots often pose as legitimate users, trying to scam unsuspecting viewers. It's crucial not to trust comments blindly, as they could be part of a bigger scam. Remember, legitimate content creators will never contact you directly through the comment section of YouTube. If you're looking for financial help, always use the official links in the video's description to ensure you connect with the right people. Furthermore, I recommend that before engaging with anyone about your finances, you should first go to the FSCA's website to ensure they are authorized to provide financial advice. We will provide you with a link to the FSCA's website in the description. Here are 10 steps you can take to start protecting yourself against scammers. Ensure that each of your online accounts has a unique and complex password. Avoid reusing passwords across different services to minimize the risk of being compromised in multiple areas if one account has been breached. Activate two-factor authentication on all your accounts that offer it. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification, such as a code sent to your phone or generated by an authenticator app. Avoid clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown suspicious emails or texts. Scammers often use these methods to trick you into giving away personal information or to install malware on your device. Always verify the source independently if you receive an unexpected message or call regarding your financial matters. Hang up and call the organization directly using a number you trust rather than the one provided in the suspicious message. Utilize a password manager to store and generate complex passwords. This way, you only need to remember one master password, making it easier to maintain strong, unique passwords for all your accounts. Regularly update software, including operating systems, browsers, and apps to protect against the latest security vulnerabilities that scammers may exploit. Be mindful of the information you share on social media and adjust your privacy settings to limit who can see your posts. Scammers often use personal details found online to craft convincing scams. Be cautious of unsolicited requests for money, especially if they involve unusual payment methods like gift cards or cryptocurrency. These are often red flags for scams. Double check the email addresses and URLs on websites you interact with. Scammers often use slight variations to create a fake site that looks legitimate at first glance. Keep yourself updated on the latest scams and tactics used by fraudsters. Knowing what to look for can help you avoid falling victim to the new or evolving scams. If you've made it this far in the video, I'm sure you understand how crucial it is to prevent more people from going through what Tom and Jenny experienced. It's vital that we spread this message, so please share this video with your children, your parents, your family, friends, and colleagues. Everyone needs to hear it. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and subscribe to the Family Wealth channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode.